screen? I don't. Took it off. Go with this. Let's hope. Oh, I didn't unmute it.
Has received some incredible intel from an anonymous source. A mysterious Stellaron burst has occurred aboard the Xianzhou Lafu. Today, we're lucky to have with us in the studio the Lafu Skyfaring Hellmaster Madame Yukong, as well as Mr. La Cha, a traveling merchant currently staying on the ship.
I'll stick with 12.
Madame Yukong, what's the latest on the Lafu situation?
Well, for the most part, the Stellaron crisis has been brought under control. We've evacuated affected areas, and life has returned to normal in the safe zones.
I see. Mr. La Cha, I hear you experienced the crisis firsthand. What was it like on the
I haven't
ground?
really watched much of this.
Well, I was trapped in the Lafu's Cloudford Harbor
actually
at first. It
a
was
little bit
only
of a breath of
thanks to
fresh
the
air.
Cloud Knights and a fortuitous encounter with kindly strangers that I was able to escape unharmed.
That's the Xianzhou Alliance. I knew you guys had everything under control.
I should mention that over the course of this crisis, we've witnessed a lot of suspicious activity. We believe the infamous Stellaron hunters are responsible. We now have 2 suspects in our custody, Blade and Kafka. Unfortunately, their accomplice is still on the loose.
Oh, you're talking about the hacker girl, right? Silverwolf? I heard she infiltrated the Xianzhou systems. They say she leaves behind a calling card.
Like this one?
Exactly, just like...
Alright, it begins.
This place is different from the rest of the space station. We're on Genius Society turf. Alright, let's get going. We have to
Hey,
move quickly.
looking wicked as always.
Not what we're looking for. It's a bait signal.
Interrupted.
You can challenge the space station,
Turn off the quality.
but
Hopefully
challenge
this
me?
might-
Good luck. Welcome to Philibog's History and Culture Museum.
I think that's Paula's voice. I could be wrong.
As you can see, the interior looks brand new.
Oh, and then there's Screw'em. So I did actually watch the CN one this morning, so none of this is too surprising, but I'm hoping to get more accurate details just because, you know, I can actually understand what they're saying now. Kind of interesting to see Screw'em and Drillo. So does he like follow us?
Let me take a look.
The Astro Express.
So these are the suspects.
And then of course the Astro Express is stalking the Rocha.
Enough talk. Have it!
Oh yeah, but the music's super jammy. I can dig this. And then of course we have World pop up. You can never separate World to another two.
And now, young man, allow me to give you a dignified end.
Okay, so we got redemption codes. I'll probably just put this on my own. Yeah, it does. So from what I can tell, all the characters they show off towards the end are characters that are getting companion codes. So that's Luocha, Anshing, Baidu, and I don't know if Yukong gets one. If it's not Yukong, apparently it's Silver, which I find interesting because like I'm not really going to be able to interact. She's a Stellaron hunter, right? And that like canonically a bit. But let's see how that works. Actually, I could fast forward this, since we're just a
And
video.
whether or not your world has a day-night cycle. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Nice to see
As
some
always,
like anime
it's your
cheese, like they
hosted,
have like
Good
the actual
Buddy
like
Albert. Welcome to the
stop motion
Honkai
movement.
Star Rail
Oh, no,
version
it's good.
1.1 Galactic Roaming Special Program.
Hello, good to be here.
Today, we've invited 3 special guests to be with us on the program. Introducing...
Hi guys, my name's Melissa Fun and I voice Silverwolf.
Hey folks, my name's Craig Lee Thomas and I voice La Cha.
Hi everyone, I'm Dawn M. Bennett, and I voice Yukong.
Pleasure to have you with us. And now, without further
Very nice
ado,
voice actors.
let's get
I don't
straight
know
into
the other words,
Honkai
but,
Star Rail version 1.1.
I love the Ian voice
What's
actors
new, Greg?
so
well,
far.
judging from the trailer we just saw, it looks like all 3 areas got some updates. Herta Space Station, Bellabog, and the Xianzhou Lafu.
I don't know if you noticed, but Silverwolf got the first bit of screen time. Just saying.
Speaking of Silverwolf, I hear our notorious Stellaron Hunter is planning another visit to Genius Society territory soon. Let's take a close look at this little troublemaker.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that Q color reminds me like old Windows XP coloration logo, but in like a 2x2 format.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the first time we saw this mysterious girl was back at the start of the story.
That's right. It's hard to keep an air of mystery when you're the first one on the scene, but...
I think she couldn't have timed it better.
I think you couldn't have timed that better.
So,
That's an interesting
what
voice.
role does Silverwolf have within the Stellaron Hunters?
She's a
I
super
didn't look at
hacker,
I
essentially.
think I actually
Lots
took
of
that
technical
close of a look at
know-how.
her
If
splash
you've got a
art. So
hack,
she has one with a
she's
sniper,
got
right?
your back.
It's
She has one
kinda
with
scary
a
how good she
flashlight and
is.
just a regular
Hacking
pistol.
the surveillance system on
looks like
Herta
a
Space
FAMAS.
Station? Not easy.
That's
how she
one
located
with
the
a wizard
Stellaron.
staff.
Let's not forget
And
the
then one with
Xianzhou.
just a
She
sword and
hacked
shield.
into the Lafu's systems and guided the Astral Express crew onto the ship.
It's kind of nice to show the rest of the voice actors for all the
this is
different
all
languages.
pretty illegal.
Good old hands are for CN as always.
Yeah. I guess what we're trying to say is Silverwolf is capable of breaking
Man,
through
I'm
any and all
sweating.
defense systems. That's why she's useful to the Stellaron Hunters.
I see. Second question. What's with all the gaming paraphernalia?
Oh, I've been meaning to ask that too. A console here, controller buttons there. It's a vibe.
Well, this probably won't come as a surprise to anyone, but she's a gamer. In fact,
This gamer's
she sees
rise
the
up.
universe as a game in itself, and she's
This
playing
life
to
is a
win.
game. A very
She
terrible one.
actually uses a lot of gamer slang in conversation. Not everyone picks up on it, though.
Got it. So it's fair to say she's kind of a nerd?
You could say that. She's also not great at socializing.
Really? Huh.
Just like
She
me
always
for
struck me as
real.
pretty outgoing.
But no,
I guess she does have a lot of friends.
I think
Hold
there's
up
a
second.
difference between being
She's an
bad at social.
outgoing
I don't know what
nerd with
socializing
poor social
entails, but I
skills
think
and a lot
there's
of
a difference
friends.
between
That's quite
being
the
bad
combo.
at socializing
Well,
and then
if
being
you
bad
struggle
at
to make friends, why not create your
holding
own?
conversation.
Melissa, you're talking
Like,
about
I think of
imaginary
socializing
friends,
as like
right? I'm not sure
being
that
able to
counts.
meet someone and then
Oh.
like you know
Okay, let
just
me
get
explain.
brief into
I'm
direction.
talking about the AI modules in her weapons.
Or maybe socializing
See
just
these little
entails
guys
all
on
of
her
that,
character
and then you
artwork?
break it down into small
That's
pieces.
friend. There's devil.
It's kind of hard
This
to
one over here is
say.
white collar. Oh, and this one's servant.
Oh, they're so
Oh,
cute.
So, okay, so all her
Yeah,
other
they're
cheat forms
pretty
have,
adorable. When
names.
Silverwolf talks about her team of professionals, she's talking about these guys.
Hold on a second. Since when did AI become so adorable? Clearly, we're making it real easy for the machines to take over.
It's too real.
It's thanks to Silverwolf's
AI
hacking
takeover.
skills that she's been able to forge such a fearsome reputation at such a young age. Let's take a look at her strengths.
Well, Silverwolf is a quantum-type character following the path of nihility. She can apply different debuffs to enemies to improve her allies' combat superiority. In particular, her skill can inflict a weakness on enemies. The weakness she inflicts matches a random ally's attack type.
Which is to say that even if nobody on her team has an attack type which matches an enemy's weakness,
So I saw she applied this.
Silverwolf can create
I don't
a
know if that
weakness that
happens
will
after she
correspond
uses her
to an
skill.
ally's existing
That's like
strength.
just in part
Exactly. In
the kit
addition,
that it kinda just
every
does
one of
whatever.
Silverwolf's attacks has a chance of inflicting the enemy with a
they talk about
random
it.
bug.
Attack
There are three
reduction,
kinds of bugs,
defense.
which reduce the enemy's attack,
What the
defense,
percentages
and
are.
speed,
Probably not something too
respectively.
insane, but you know,
Okay.
debuff is a
And
debuff.
outside of combat, Silverwolf can use her technique to attack an enemy and enter battle. Regardless of enemy weakness, she deals damage to
Wow, that's a
all
very cool
enemies and
entrance.
reduces their toughness.
If Silverwolf breaks an enemy's weakness with her technique, It triggers the quantum weakness break effect, right?
Yes, that's
Entanglement.
right. What else was I gonna mention? Oh, her ultimate. Silverwolf's ultimate has a high chance of reducing the enemy's defense in addition to dealing damage.
I love that animation.
Single target.
It's like
but
something out of a rhythm game,
defense
right?
should- You take those.
I'm starting to see what
I mean, I
you
know we have
mean
Hella,
by the
but, like-
universe being a game to her.
So we're very cool.
Mhm. It doesn't stop there either. Did I mention her ability names? There's System Warning, Allow Changes, Awaiting System Response, Force Quit Program. Oh, you get the picture.
This computer
Oh, was there one called a 10-set guarantee? Ooh, or how about single warp miracle?
Poking fun at our
Sadly
terrible luck
not.
at work.
Her ultimate's called User Banned, though.
Oh, I know what that means. Banned out of existence. Yeah, I guess the scary ultimate needs a scary name. Well, it's time to move on to the Xianzhou's mysterious visitor. Laocha, the traveling merchant.
Man, a part of me really wants him, but I just don't have the savings for it. And just, not gonna lie, a part of me, I don't want to say I regret having Milo on my team because I got her on the first temple on Sealy's banner. At the same time, it's like,
Straight off the bat,
it gives me
man
less of a
knows how to
reason to
dress.
pull the Woka.
Elegant look, gentlemanly
If I managed to
demeanor.
get Sealy on that first
They
temple,
say
I
he's
probably could
hiding
have saved
secret.
90 pulls.
What do you
Because that's
think?
how many,
Good guy
90?
or villain?
He
90
seems very
80 or 90
suspicious.
pulls to get Sealy
Really?
after the 50-50.
How
Those
so?
could have possibly gone to
Imagine
the
some guy
Vultures
waltzes into your hometown dressed
banner,
like an
depending on
aristocrat
how
from another planet,
Silverwolf banner
but he knows
goes,
all
which I
the
hope it
local
goes well, 'cause
customs.
I have
Be
this
a
much
little taken
to
aback,
save.
right?
Hey, I think you're being a little hard on the guy. Some tourists do their research.
Uh-huh. Well, don't you think his healing abilities are a little mysterious? They came in pretty handy during the Stellaron crisis.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a traveling merchant, I'm gonna want some first aid skills under my belt.
Exactly.
It's a dangerous career.
Career, huh? Are you sure that's how he makes a living? We haven't seen him trade a single thing.
Well,
That
I
is true.
feel like this guy already made his
Have you seen
fortune.
this
Maybe
transport?
traveling merchant is just what super rich tourists like to tell people.
Jeez, you guys have an answer for everything. Is this the Laocha fan club or something?
Oh, trust me,
yes.
he has a fan club, and I'm part of it.
Well, what about the coven he carries around with him? Nothing out of the ordinary there, right?
Yes, no, that's an even bigger.
Yeah, you got me there.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
I'm not so sure. Everyone needs a conversation starter, right? Especially traveling merchants. Think about it. If you walk past this guy, the coffin's gonna draw your attention, right? You'll probably ask him about it, and before you know it, he sold you a new set of shower curtain rings.
You know something? That kind of makes sense.
Pretty smart.
I see.
And if you find people are in need of a few shower curtain rings, I happen upon the finest collection of authentic Xianzhou
Shower
bathroomware.
curtain rings? What the
Beautiful
hell?
stuff. Low prices, too.
Touching the
It's a
original
very
question
interesting
here.
sales item.
Is Laocha a good guy or villain?
I don't think we have enough information.
All right then. Guess all you trailblazers have to make up your own minds. So, why don't we take a look at his ability?
Ooh, now we're talking. Laocha is an imaginary type character following the path of abundance.
It's imaginary
For a man with
because I had to
medical
imagine him
knowledge,
being
it's
on my
not
team.
surprising that he's strong on protection. He can offer healing too and dispel debuffs from his allies. For example, Laocha's skill can restore an ally's HP. When the HP of any
at how many
ally
icons
falls
he has on
below a
the
certain
bottom.
percentage, Laocha uses his
it's
skill
ridiculous.
on them without consuming any skill points. This effect can be triggered again after a set number of turns.
Emergency
I'm guessing that's what
healing,
the glowing icon is on.
Important for team survival.
Sure is. After unlocking a special trace, using Laocha's skill also dispels a debuff from an ally.
Huh.
Yes,
Using
just like
Laocha's
Natasha and March.
ultimate, Death Wish, dispels one buff from and deals imaginary damage to all enemies.
In other words, if you've got an
That
enemy
is a
that's
really
always
solid,
buffing themselves
very
or debuffing your
offensive
allies, Laocha has an
type style
important role to
stuff.
play.
Precisely. And here's something else. Every time Laocha uses his skill or ultimate, he grants himself one stack of Abyss Flower. Now, when the Abyss Flower reaches a certain number of stacks, Law Cha deploys a field against the enemy,
guess
which lasts for a set number of turns.
I don't know.
When the field is active,
I kinda wish
allies
there was a
recover a set
counter
amount of
on his
HP
portrait
whenever they make
that
an attack.
tells,
And that's
like,
not all.
how many stacks he has,
After
but that
unlocking
might
a
be
special
confused with
trace,
how often
attacks
proc
against
is, but-
enemies in the field can restore ally HP.
Cool. It's like
Oh,
a
sorry,
force
keyboard
field of
mouse.
healing.
During exploration, when Law Cha uses his technique, Mercy of a Fool, his field will be immediately generated at the start of the
So
next
what?
battle.
I heard they changed his technique from the beta, which I actually don't
Mr.
realize that
Law
they
Cha.
did, but
Mysterious
it's a nice
origins
change.
and
Definitely looks
extraordinary
cooler.
skills.
oh yeah, Yukon. This is what a lot of people are excited for.
There's somebody else here we gotta get to. I'm talking about the elegant, sky-faring
Yeah, the
Hellmaster
People
Madame
definitely,
Yukon.
people definitely
About
feel some
time,
certain
too.
just
Well,
looking at
from
that.
commerce,
that art-
cargo, passengers, all the way through to the Air Force, the Skyfaring Commission is in charge of all matters relating to flight. Yukong is the head of that commission, so the above falls right under her remit.
Nice. Speaking of flight, it seems like star skiffs are the most emblematic means of transportation on the Xianzhou.
Yeah, they're a common sight in the Xianzhou skies. Yukon can fly them, right?
I'd say she's pretty handy with a star skiff. When she was young, it was Yukong's flying skills that saw her promoted by the general. That's how she joined the Skyfaring Commission. She soon became an ace among the other pilots.
Huh? That's not the story I heard.
All right, you got me. Here's the director's cut. Yukong ran 6 red lights in a row. She was dragged straight in front of the general and...
I get the picture. Sometimes rebels get noticed.
You're only young once.
6 red lights, huh?
Sometimes those talents don't always
Disclaimer,
follow the laws.
Trailblazers, don't try that at home. Well, her rebellious streak might be a thing of the past, but she's still as sharp as ever. Dawn, give us the lowdown.
Coming right up. Yukong is an imaginary type character following the path of harmony. Her skill Emboldening Salvo grants her 2 stacks of Roaring Bowstrings. When Roaring Bowstrings is active, the attack of all allies increases. Yukong
Attack
loses
of
1 stack
allies.
of Roaring Bowstrings with every allied turn.
In other words, Yukong's skill can increase allies' attack for 2 turns.
You got it.
I
During
guess there's probably
exploration, using Yukong's
there's probably
technique
a
increases her
item line
movement
that
speed for a
increases
set
the
time.
amount.
It also allows her
level.
to obtain 2 stacks of
I'm
Roaring
gonna try
Bowstrings
something.
at the start of the
While
next
this
battle.
live stream plays in the
Sounds
back
like a good recipe for
going to
shaking off enemy
do
pursuers.
the week TCG battles.
Using Yukong's
in the
basic
background,
attack
so I can
triggers
at
her
least be
talent
a little
7
bit
layers,
efficient.
1
I'm still
arrow,
watching the
which
live
deals
stream
additional damage and increases the toughness
phone,
reducing
so
damage of the current attack. This effect can
it's
be
not too
triggered
bad.
again after a set number
I
of
mean,
turns.
I guess technically my phone
When
is delayed,
Yukong
but
unleashes her ultimate, Diving Kestrel,
at least
she
I can
deals
understand that.
imaginary damage to a single target. If Roaring Bowstrings is active, its effect is enhanced, increasing the crit rate and crit damage of all allies. Her days on the front lines may be over, but Yukong's
I don't know what the
skills
numbers
didn't
are,
go
but
anywhere.
that sounds pretty stupid.
Maybe one
and
day
strong.
we'll get to see her take flight once again.
Ooh, here's hoping.
Man, we're really spoiled for choice with these characters, huh? Still, let's not forget what else we've got coming up. In version 1.1, we'll be welcoming 2 brand new light cones to the warp. First up,
yes, of course.
incessant rain.
Bubblegum in the rain, huh? That's a mood.
The Silver Wolf energy is strong in this
I
one.
wonder if they're gonna tell us
You got that
what
right.
it does, or to just showing off
Someone
what
don't
the
want
light
to
cones
tidy the
are.
room?
So true. She's like, I told you, Kafka. I'm gonna tidy it. As soon as version 1.1 finishes downloading.
Sure.
Now, the second light cone is the Path of Abundances, Echoes of the Coffin.
Okay, they don't tell us what it does.
See,
They
it
just
looks
show
like a
I mean, it
snapshot
was in the
of
beta, but they probably changed the numbers. Sure.
Lacha talking to the coffin?
Wow, looks like some kind of thorny vines are emerging from beneath the lid. So many questions. I get a sense of mystery and elegance, but there's also a kind of tenderness and fragility here. don't you think?
Well, one thing's for sure. If people weren't curious about Lacha's coffin yet, they are now.
Just a man in his ornately decorated vine-producing coffin. Nothing to see here, folks.
Whatever
Dude,
you
dude,
say,
they're
Chris.
really teasing
Check this out.
hell out of us.
During the first phase of version
Okay,
1.1
so
in the character warp, Contract
I
Zero,
have mixed feelings about.
Trailblazers can obtain the limited
the
5-star
Silver Wolf banner. On
character
one hand,
Silver Wolf.
I'm still
During
using
the
all those
same
characters,
phase
so
in
you
the
know they
Light Cone
definitely
event
will
warp,
team. But at the
The
same
drop
time,
rate of the
when I
5-star
saw the
Light
Witch's banner,
Cone
I'm like,
Incessant Rain will be
that looks
boosted.
pretty juicy.
Now, during the second phase of version 1.1 in the character warp Lake Pursuit, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star character Lacha and 4-star character Yukong.
Nice. And then because
During
I'm
the
building, I
same
built
phase,
Chinchua,
in the Light
which would've
Cone
been
event
nice.
warp, the drop
Technically, I
rate
also
of the
have Paladin
5-star Light
since
Cone
against Overall.
Echoes of the
I guess that's a
Coffin
bit
will
less,
be
you know.
boosted. And I almost forgot to mention, when version 1.2 rolls around, Trailblazers can take part in an in-game event to obtain the 4-star character Yukong for free.
Okay, they actually mentioned this.
Details
That's
of
actually
this event
really
will be
nice.
announced through official channels in the not-too-distant future.
Nice.
Ooh, awesome.
Whew. Let's take a break for a minute here, but when we get back, we'll be talking version 1.1 events.
Okay, and then we have the second code. Let's fast forward back to this later.
Welcome back, Trailblazers. New characters and light cones aside, version 1.1 has lots of events and gameplay updates. And a little bird told me there's an event connected to Silverwolf on the
Birdie bird.
way.
I heard the same thing. At the start of the story, Kafka and Silverwolf invaded Herta Space Station. Kafka's mission was to awaken the Trailblazer. Silverwolf's mission was to help Kafka infiltrate the space station systems and locate the hidden Stellaron. But that wasn't enough for Silverwolf.
I can believe that. She's been on the IPC's wanted list for as long as I can remember.
During the invasion, she left behind some kind of digital graffiti. Just her way of letting everyone know Silverwolf was here.
Way to rub it in their faces, Silverwolf. Still, artists need an outlet.
This all sounds like classic Silverwolf energy to me.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys the name of her homeworld. Punk Lord. Kind of fitting, don't you think?
Interesting. We got some
No way.
Afraid so. I think she was destined for this kind of behavior. Anyway, in the Star Hunt game event, the Trailblazers receive an invite from the space station's network security engineer, Leonard. They have to help Leonard locate the digital graffiti hidden across the station and uncover the secrets inside.
Wait, there are secrets hidden inside the graffiti? But if it's all digital... Oh, I bet you need to hack into it or something.
You might be right. We also get to meet a new Genius Society member, one of Madame Herta's collaborators, Screwlum. He'll be helping
Yeah, she
the
looks pretty
Trailblazers
sick.
too.
I wonder if we get to
Whoa.
play as him. I don't know
Haven't
if
we
the green
seen
indicates he's
Screw
gonna
before
be
somewhere?
down
I
the road.
think we saw a hologram
No.
portrait of him in Herta's office. He's a robot, right?
A robot Genius Society member. Interesting. I bet he's got a few hacker skills up his sleeve. If he's helping us out too, I'm sure we'll be fine.
You know what I found out? Silverwolf and Screwlum actually faced off against each other once. You can see a snapshot of their fight in the We Will Meet Again light cone.
Whoa. Okay, Screwlum, looking kind of handsome there. Geez, his portrait really doesn't do him justice.
Yeah, he definitely
You
looks
know,
a lot more.
If you and the
tripped out.
light cone need a moment here, the rest of us can head out.
Love a handsome robot.
I guess this event will be the second time Screwlum's come up against Silverwolf's mischief then. Old enemies locking horns once again.
Ooh, guess it does kind of feel like a rematch.
I gotta mention that graffiti again. Anyone else feel like it'd make for a good tattoo? I feel like some of these characters could pull it off.
I don't think that feature's coming to Star Rail anytime soon.
Oh, what?
Anytime
But
soon.
I did hear that the designs are collectible. The Trailblazer can apply them to in-game surfaces and take photos with the artwork.
Oh, that's kind of
Oh,
cute.
cool.
Nice.
Collecting the graffiti
I can do
designs also allows you to unlock the limited 4-star light cone before the tutorial mission starts. Complete the event mission to obtain Always Smiling, which can be
Yes.
exchanged in the event shop for limited light cone special superimposition material, as well as stellar jade.
Hey, that's another good-looking light cone. Not to change the subject or anything, but I gotta ask. Is that Albert merch I'm seeing over there?
It looks so fluffy! I
Yeah,
want one.
Albert. It's just, or
Now that you
Albert.
mention it,
You can-
why
yeah,
don't I
sometimes their
introduce you to the
pronunciations make me
IPC's merchandise
mishear
department? If you guys had your own merch, they'd be sold out in no time. Or maybe let's just get back to version 1.1 for now. In the story thus far, Belobog has finally emerged from the Stellaron shadow. But there's a lot left to do. The city is going through changes. Any of you guys want to shed some light?
I heard a thing or two. Now that the underworld and overworld are reconnected, things are definitely heading in a better direction. One recent development, Belobog's History Museum is getting ready to reopen to the public.
Museum? I love museums. Aw, don't you wish you could take the exhibits home with you, though?
I
The
don't
only
know about that
problem
much.
is exhibits are being stolen.
Oh.
Anything you'd like to tell us, Melissa?
Oh, wait a minute.
Do you
I
have,
only just found out they had a
any words?
museum. How could it have been me?
I didn't say it was you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Prime suspect. Anyway, in the Everwinter City Museum Ledger of Curiosities event, the Trailblazer must help Pela track down clues and recover the lost exhibits.
Nice! Oh, I love a good whodunit.
Sounds great.
Well, that's not all. The Trailblazer can take on managerial responsibilities and help run the place.
Huh. So what does that involve exactly?
I'm glad you asked. The Trailblazer can do things like collect exhibits and enlist other individuals to improve the overall experience for visitors. After achieving specific operational goals, they can accumulate funds to expand the museum's exhibits and gradually unlock limited-time rewards, such as stellar jade, lost crystals, and self-modeling resin.
Sounds like
That's gonna be
fun.
nice,
I'm
'cause
sure it'll
I'm
be a
slowly
piece
reaching
of
the point
cake.
Relics are gonna
When
be
the limited-time
available.
event is over, the museum will remain as a mode within the game. Trailblazers can return to the museum at any time to check out the collection and catch up with colleagues.
Of course, if you encounter any issues during the running of the museum, please don't
Report it to
hesitate to get in
authorities.
touch with the IPC. Wait, we don't have the service. Gotta get ahead of myself.
A deep breath, Albert. Not everything is an IPC sales pitch.
Thanks, Don. This is what happens if you read commercials for a living.
No worries. Kinda did sound like a useful service. Maybe the IPC should look into it.
I'm sure our Trailblazers are more interested in the content of the new version. Let's get back on track.
All right. A researcher from the space station found a combat simulation program of unknown origin called Stellar Flare, which contains a series of new challenge stages.
This
Huh?
familiar
More
to the first event they had us do in the
Every
final
stage in Stellar Flare has a challenge theme and corresponding special mechanism. Trailblazers will have to think outside the box and use any advantages offered by the mechanisms to complete the stage in as few turns as possible.
Yeah, this sounds like the one we
Sounds
did
like the
in
Forgotten
the
Hall
beta.
to me.
The difference with Stellar Flare is that the special mechanisms might require completely new ways of thinking about combat. For example, in some stages, using your skill doesn't consume skill points. In others, damage dealt when breaking an enemy's toughness is increased, but the enemy's toughness will be immediately restored.
Huh, sounds pretty cool.
Sounds like more
but
pain for-
I'm
that
sure
aren't exactly,
Silverwolf will take
geared
care
up.
of it in one turn.
What if I haven't leveled up enough characters? Is it impossible for me to complete the
Oh,
challenge?
okay, yes.
Don't worry.
Give us child
to
characters
assist
that are stronger than
Trailblazers
the
in
ones we have.
completing the challenge, every Stellar Flare stage has a trial character suited to the theme.
Okay, good.
You don't say. I can get behind that.
Well, at least I have my team members split up, but you know,
The Garden
I'm
of
gonna
Plenty
bet that
event.
because I just hit
Recently,
TL
the
50.
cosmos has entered a
they're probably gonna be
turbulent
stronger.
cycle, and the calyxes are unusually active. The reality data contained
Okay,
within
Golden
them
and
has
Crimson.
grown
This is probably a
exponentially.
good opportunity for
Huh,
traces.
which
or the
means...
Crimson.
It means that over a fixed time period, Trailblazers have a set number of daily attempts to obtain double the rewards from calyxes. Leveling up, here we come! The next event we're going to talk about is called Lab Assistance in Position. Wen Sherling is a Department of Implement Arts researcher on Herta Space Station, and she's currently preparing research topics needed for the next quarter. However, the Antimatter Legion's invasion has messed up her progress. As a result, Wen Sherling has asked the Trailblazer to help her collect monster materials for use in her research topic. If the Trailblazer collects and submits the experimental materials required on a given day, they can receive corresponding rewards.
I got a question, Dawn.
Fire away!
That reminds me
These
of
are
a certain
space station and
somewhat
Bellabog
Genshin.
events, right? Aren't there any events or missions on the Xianzhou Luofu?
You beat me to it.
Oh,
That's exactly what I was about to bring up. In version 1.1, 3 new companion missions are destined for the Xianzhou
Three.
Luofu. These missions will involve Bailu, Yanqing, and Luo Cha.
Okay,
As
so
for
not
the
so well.
specifics, I'm gonna keep that a secret
but
for now.
There's a
We
fourth.
can't go spoiling all
What's
the
the fourth
fun,
one?
can we?
what?
Oh, is that-
Not even one detail?
I wonder what that fourth
Come
one
on,
is.
Don. Can you give us a little something? We're on the edge of our seats here.
Yeah, come on, Don.
All right. Do you guys remember the girl with the blindfold in the opening trailer?
Oh, they
And
actually
now,
spoil
young
it.
Man,
Oh,
allow me
shit.
to give you a dignified end.
Oh,
I was wondering
it's
who
the
she
stage.
was.
Okay,
Well,
we're in for
all
some
I'll say is
juice.
that she and the Xianzhou have a complicated past.
Okay, I know that
And her appearance on the Xianzhou
or
leads to a
from what I
dramatic
heard there's gonna be
encounter
no
with
new
Cloud
main story
Knight
stuff,
Lieutenant
which, you know,
Yin Qing.
bars me,
And that's all you're
which
getting.
bars me.
Sorry.
But we'll
Surprises
title
are
or
worth
companion
waiting
quest, and it gives me
for.
some time
Oh,
to
I hate
maybe catch up
waiting.
on some older
Oh, come on.
projects.
Nope, I'm afraid that's all you're getting. However, I do have a little info on some other updates. Interested?
Sure, I guess.
Well, if nobody's that interested, then I suppose I'll just...
Of course we're interested.
What, are you crazy?
Albert, you're interested, right? That's better, good boy.
How enthusiastic he
Nicely
sounded just
done,
now.
Melissa. The check-in event Gift of Odyssey will also be arriving in version 1.1. For the length of this version, as long as Trailblazers log in for 7 days,
Oh yeah, and then we
they
always
can
have our free
acquire
wishes
10
to go
Star Rail
definitely need
special
those.
passes.
10 free warps? Nice.
Version 1.1 will also see some system updates. When Trailblazers need to obtain leveling materials that only a certain type of enemy can produce, they can instantly teleport to an area where the enemy is present, as well as pinpoint the precise location of the enemy on the map with a marker.
Sounds like a real time saver.
Not gonna lie, I just
Wait
kill
until
all
you
the
hear
enemies
this.
because I've
Once
memorized
the
the
enemy in
routes at this
question is
point.
defeated, the marker will automatically move to the location
Okay, now
of
that's
the
kinda-
next enemy.
It's kind of nice
After
that
all
you can
marked
kind of
enemies
visually
on a
see it
map have
better.
been defeated, Trailblazers can continue to pinpoint enemies on other maps. This process can be repeated until all daily respawn enemies of a certain type have been defeated.
Yeah, that's so
That's a
nice
lifesaver.
compared to
I barely
Genshin's
found my
version
way
where
to
it
the
doesn't show
studio
all the
today.
mobs.
There's also a small combat surprise in store. During combat, trotters that have lost their way may randomly enter battle. As long as the trotter is defeated before it manages to flee, additional leveling materials can be obtained.
Enemy
Leveling
geolocation
materials?
and
Wait,
additional
is
material
this-
opportunities? Devs, I owe
Oh,
you
so
one.
this is dev.
Last
Oh,
but
you
not
definitely want to
least,
farm these every
in
day
order
then.
to help
What the-
Trailblazers stay in touch, version 1.1 also has a friend chat function.
So you mean, aside from helping friends through support assist, we can send them messages too?
You got it. Doesn't matter if they're old companions or new acquaintances.
That's the spirit of trailblazing right there.
Oh, hey, Albert, what's your account? Let me add you.
What?
I need to add you. You can be
Oh, I
my
would-
personal IPC customer service. What do you think?
I wouldn't mind having them as friends.
Hello. Hey, don't get any ideas because I nearly made up a service that doesn't exist.
So
These
you
people
don't
got
want to add
scammed.
me? Guess I'll just have to hack you.
Uh-oh, we got stalker girl on
We
it.
can negotiate.
Yeah, I'm gonna need those account details too.
Count me in. Sorry to jump on the bandwagon here, Albert, but you're a celebrity anchor for the IPC. Everyone wants to be your friend.
Fine, but I'm switching my account the next chance I get. Time for today's third redemption code.
And then that seems to be pretty much it. Alright, damn, that went by a lot faster than I thought it
when
would.
you're having
But you know, I
fun.
guess that's
Looks like our special
bad.
program has come to an end.
Ah, darn.
But as the first guest on the program, you guys got any thoughts, reflections, complaints?
Oh, it's been an honor to be on the show, Albert. I gotta say, we covered a lot of ground. Now I'm even more excited for the updates. Fingers crossed I get Silver Wolf.
Yeah, seriously, same.
Greg, how you feeling?
I feel like I've got more questions than I came in with. What new directions will Lacha take the story in? Who's stealing exhibits from the museum? And what about those companion missions? Guess we'll have to find out the answers in game.
Yeah.
For real. As for me, well, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'd seen a lot of Yukong up to now, but this was the first time I got to understand her moves and role on the battlefield. She's so cool. I kinda wanna be her. Then again, I guess I kinda am her.
I had to double check there for a second, huh? Well, that's it for the Honkai Star Rail version 1.1 special program. I want to thank all you trailblazers today for tuning in, and hey, we'll see you on the flip side.
See you in the game.
Bye. See you when I see ya.
everyone.
Later, guys.
Alright, is there anything else at the end?
You didn't think it was over, did you?
Wait, what does it say? See you on 6.5? What does that mean? Oh, that's it. Oh, that's the next update. I was being prepared for a moment.